Before we get into this video, there's something I have to say. Anyone who covers this topic may be putting themselves in the sightlines of powerful people in the Roblox world. I've been in the process of making this video for a couple of weeks now, and during that time I've received warnings about possible pushback from powerful people. This situation involves high-profile people who have done work for Roblox and have connections deep within the Roblox community. And I'm not talking about them knowing YouTubers or whatever. I'm talking about knowing staff or knowing people who know staff. These are powerful people who I've legitimately been warned could possibly use their connections to try and get at me for this. It's crazy because I talk to people about vids I plan to make, and this is the only time they've shown concern that something more serious may happen to me after. Some of the people who are warning me are also very well connected deep within the Roblox world. It's not just anyone saying this stuff to me. One person who's covered this same case has already received personal threats from a powerful Roblox user. I don't know what could happen to me if anything, but if something odd happens out of the blue, then I'll be a little suspicious. If you're going to cover this, just be careful. There was a recent serious situation that is one of the most bizarre things I've seen in the 10 years I've been on Roblox. What's going on involves UGC creators, developers, and more prominent community members, most if not all being RDC attendees. Disgusting alleged actions by a top UGC creator are coming to light, and there was a large-scale cover-up helping hide it. A second cover-up, which has seen personal threats used, is trying to hide those actions and criticism towards those covering it up. What we're going over in this video is the alleged actions of top UGC creator WhoToTrus and the attempted cover-up by influential community members. WhoToTrus, also known as TrustyTrus and 3DTrus, is a UGC creator known for making some of Roblox's most popular UGC accessories. He has hundreds of UGC accessories for sale, spanning a large variety of themes such as military, LGBT, fashion, pop culture, furry, and more. He has also worked on the Bloxy Awards, has his own Roblox toy, and has attended RDC multiple times, including the most recent one. EvanBear1 is a Roblox streamer, developer, star and UGC creator, and former social media specialist for GameFam, but wait until the end to say stuff about him. JohnDrinkin is another one of Roblox's most popular UGC creators who is known for making military and furry themed accessories and has also been an RDC attendee. Rocky28447 is a former Roblox Accelerator intern and has also been to RDC, including 2022 where he won the Game Jam Award. This situation begins in 2020 when WhoToTrus had very strange public interaction with Johnny Soleil, a 16-year-old, while Trus was apparently 19 and 20. Trus and Johnny had a fair amount of somewhat alarming interactions that made it seem like they may have been in a relationship. On August 20th, 2020, WhoToTrus would publicly on his main Twitter account ask a then 15-year-old Johnny Soleil to go to a Roblox homecoming with him. Answer appears to be yes, as Johnny Soleil would tweet about wanting their homecoming dress to be a surprise for Trus, which Trus would then retweet. A day later, they seemed to have attended the Roblox homecoming together, as shown in this tweet by a weird fan of the supposed relationship. Johnny turned 16 on August 25th, then 5 days later put out a tweet asking if anyone would admit they had a crush on them. Trus would then quote that tweet and, publicly on his main account with 22,000 followers, ask for everyone to go vote for him. An apparently 20-year-old WhoToTrus wanted his followers to supposedly tell someone who had just turned 16 that he had a crush on them. By this time, people were already questioning the morality of a 20-year-old seemingly acting so flirty with someone who was 15 and just turned 16. Johnny would even have to put out a response the day before WhoToTrus asked his followers to vote for him, but Trus did it anyway. Eventually, Johnny put out a full-length apology and explanation saying it spawned from a joke Johnny made about liking Trus in a Truth or Dare game. Oddly, the statement from the minor was the only thing ever put out there. As far as I've seen and remember, WhoToTrus never said anything. That situation brought more attention to another from January of that year, when WhoToTrus publicly asked a 17-year-old about their body hair preferences and advice. Trus mentioned to this 17-year-old how older girls, younger girls, and gay, bi, and pan men all prefer certain types of body hair. And although it's just a 2 to 3 year difference, it's still a really inappropriate question to be publicly asking a minor on your public Twitter account. It doesn't end there though, as I found this tweet from a then 14-year-old of art they made of Trus's furry character mentioning shaved legs. Trust mentioned how he had been asking everyone if they preferred men with or without body hair, and his 14-year-old was likely one of them. Publicly asking about body hair preferences to a ton of people online, including minors, is very weird, but this is also concerning. Unfortunately, this won't be the last time this whole shaving thing comes up, and unfortunately it sounds like it may be a little more than just his hygienic routine. Following this drama, WhoToTrus would kind of vanish and post far less frequently on his social media accounts. YouTuber Alaskan Reality somehow got access to an NSFW furry Discord server that allegedly included WhoToTrus and fellow UGC creator JohnDrinkin. According to Alaskan, he entered the server with a furry profile picture and a bio that read they/them15 and got quick access to NSFW channels. Alaskan allegedly found several inappropriate messages supposedly sent by WhoToTrus and others with people who are openly minors around. There's mobile screen recordings of the messages along with an entire archive of the server apparently set to be released. The following screenshots come from Alaskan Reality and I believe to be authentic messages from WhoToTrus and JohnDrinkin. Here WhoToTrus allegedly discusses his attraction towards a Pokemon called Zoroark and his desires to have relations with it. WhoToTrus allegedly sent this picture of what appears to be his crow furry character, naked laying headfirst in the grass, as his phone lock screen. WhoToTrus allegedly requested someone to put something in his behind. WhoToTrus allegedly requested someone to bring a smaller thing to stick in his behind, and that's allegedly JohnDrinkin reacting to it. WhoToTrus allegedly sent this picture of some furry dog thing doing things I'd rather not describe. WhoToTrus allegedly talked about having public relations with somebody, which is actually a crime. Here's a picture WhoToTrus allegedly sent of him wearing furry NSFW website merch. WhoToTrus allegedly made quite the bizarre comment towards this weird furry picture. JohnDrinkin allegedly encouraged somebody to stick things to WhoToTrus's behind. WhoToTrus allegedly went into graphic detail about why he felt bad for short people. WhoToTrus allegedly made this comment about how gay people and women are manipulative, annoying, and beggars. WhoToTrus was allegedly fairly inappropriate while flirting with some furry acting the same way. This is a picture allegedly sent by someone who has multiple criticized interactions with minors on Twitter. Here's another pretty concerning message allegedly from someone who has multiple criticized interactions with minors on Twitter. Earlier we talked about how WhoToTrus was talking to minors about body hair shaving publicly on his main Twitter account. While this can be seen as WhoToTrus just being awkward and stupid, things allegedly found in the Red Circus may point to it being more than that. Allegedly, WhoToTrus asked about shaving often in the server, including this one in response to whatever reproductive organ trail is. WhoToTrus allegedly again asked people if they thought he should shave, something he had asked a minor publicly on Twitter. JohnDrinkin and WhoToTrus allegedly had this conversation where John used this weird looking furry picture, then alluded to the shaving of being more than just a face. It's looking like maybe this whole shaving thing was more than just an interest in body hygiene, but something Trust had a thing for. If it's true that WhoToTrus had a thing for shaving, that means he may have been projecting it onto minors, which would be really disgusting. Alaskan Reality posted messages that he says are from JohnDrinkin and WhoToTrus in the Red Circus talking about RDC. This is that conversation, and JohnDrinkin and WhoToTrus both allegedly talked about planned adult activity get-togethers for RDC attendees. JohnDrinkin allegedly mentions one he says happened in 2019 and that an employee of his was in, and Trust mentions a rumored one for 2021. These messages are dated October 10th, 2021, which was 4 days before RDC 2021 began. This was the first time I had heard of this possibly happening during RDC 2021, but I've actually heard of the alleged 2019 one before. WhoToTrus allegedly mentions drug usage, which is another thing I've heard alleged issues about during RDC, and unfortunately not just with adults. WhoToTrus and JohnDrinkin have both been to RDCs, and if this is truly them, are backing major allegations I've heard happen with some at RDC. Remember, the big issue here is not any bizarre likings of weird stuff, but that two of Roblox's biggest UGC creators allegedly said those things in a server with minors. And while this video was largely focused on WhoToTrus, JohnDrinkin may be highly in the wrong here as well. WhoToTrus's past public incidents along with the Red Circus stuff was discredited and covered up by multiple high-profile users. Evan Bear 1, Roblox star creator, developer, and former GameFam social media specialist, was one of those people. Evan called the allegations and incidents against WhoToTrus fake, belittled them, and said Alaskan reality was just clout chasing. Evan was also alleged to be blocking people who brought up what WhoToTrus had done under GameFam tweets. But during the production of this video, Evan Bear 1 did a complete 180 on the situation and looks to believe the allegations to likely be true. Evan explained that a few people around him said the messages were altered and that he took that as face value instead of looking into it himself. Somebody else was feeding him incorrect info, but Evan Bear later realized what was going on and has apologized for basically covering it up. He went on to call the alleged actions of WhoToTrus inappropriate, immoral, and unacceptable. Evan Bear 1 posted the response on his public main Twitter account for everybody to see, which is very commendable and good to see. Interestingly, Evan Bear mentions that he was informed that there could be legal action against him if he made a provably false statement against Trust. Rocky28447 allegedly made personal threats including a general location and name to Alaskan to protect Evan before Evan switched sides. Rocky would question Alaskan's military service and seemingly go on a search to find out about it and who Alaskan is. A burner Twitter account would begin posting what it thought was Alaskan's name and address, and Rocky allegedly repeated some of it on his account. Who was truly behind the docs is unknown, but it looked to be done to intimidate people into not criticizing Evan Bear, who was at the time protecting Trust. Evan Bear 1 stated in his response that he has nothing to do with that doxing attempt, and trust me, Evan wouldn't do that. Rocky has not said much of the situation since, but whatever was going on there with personal intimidation was highly wrong. WhoToTrus, one of Roblox's most successful UGC creators, has multiple highly criticized incidents with minors on his public main Twitter account. He and fellow UGC creator JohnDrinkin were alleged to have adult discussions in a Discord server where minors were openly present. There was an attempted cover-up to hide and belittle those actions and allegations, only for Evan Bear 1, a main person involved in that, to apologize and switch sides. One of the main figures calling out this situation received personal threats including a doxing campaign. This is one of the craziest situations I've ever seen in the Roblox community, and I'm here to help make sure it doesn't get hidden more. The Twitter situations I remember happening and were and still are concerning, and the alleged Discord messages aren't to be taken lightly. This is a situation that shouldn't be covered up or automatically dismissed, and if all is proven, the people involved should be held accountable. Roblox should conduct their own investigation and take proper action if they are able to find conclusive evidence against WhoToTrus and JohnDrinkin.